Turn inside.
Across America, in small-town gyms and big city arenas, an annual springtime ritual is unfolding. Young men and women reaching for glory. And when it's over, memories of victory or defeat will linger for a lifetime. It's the stuff of high drama, so it's no surprise the same themes are being explored every night on a different stage, Broadway, in a revival of the award-winning That Championship Season.
A toast to the 1952 Pennsylvania State High School basketball champions.
You know, drama is supposed to hold, Shakespeare says, hold the mirror up to nature. Many of the other classic American plays deal with failure. This play deals with what's success. You know, when you live up to something, an expectation that happens 20 years ago, and you can't go beyond that.
Smile! Let's see them new teeth, James.
The plot is simple. 4 former members of a championship high school basketball team from Scranton, Pennsylvania, reunite at their coach's house decades later and try to deal with the fact that the high point of their lives happened when they were just 18.
We had some good times. Great.
Sometimes I think that's the only thing I can still feel, Still feel in my gut.
The A-list cast includes Brian Cox of Braveheart and The Bourne Supremacy, Chris Noth of Sex and the City, screen star Jason Patric, comedian Jim Gaffigan, and 24's Kiefer Sutherland.
Son, you better put that down, or you're gonna get hurt. Well, I think one of the things that's phenomenal about this cast, and it really is a real tribute to these 4 guys. Everybody has really put their egos aside and really made a very conscious decision to work together as actors. And that's something I'm very, very proud of.
The original production was a smash, winning a Pulitzer Prize and the 1973 Tony Award for the author, Jason Miller. It was a good year for Miller. He was also nominated for an Oscar as an actor for his riveting performance in The Exorcist.
You're not my mother!
Don't listen.
Why, Jimmy?
Miller died in 2001, and so the play's return to Broadway is especially meaningful for Jason Patric, who just happens to be the playwright's son. This is where your pop went to school, right?
Yeah, this is where he went to school. I think there was his church right there. That's where we had the funeral. Last time I was here was 10 years ago, actually, on those steps.
We went back with Patrick for a visit to the town that inspired the play, Scranton, Pennsylvania, the hardscrabble coal mining community where his father, then known as Howie, grew up.
I haven't been in here. I've only been on the outside, but this is the dirt, the clay that he came from. This is where these men were drawn from.
So tell me what you think when you walk into this gym.
Bobby socks and poodle skirts, and this is definitely the floor from the 50s. And yeah, I mean, there is clearly gallons of his sweat somewhere in this wood.
The 1956 St. Patrick's High School yearbook is full of Howie Miller's exploits on the court. You used a word before, hardscrabble. There's something here that just evokes a certain working class, scrapping it out kind of life.
Backbone of the country, backbone of the country. And whether it's coal, whether it's steel.
There's no doubt Jason Miller was a gifted athlete, but what's truly remarkable is that this scrappy Irish Catholic son of an electrician would rise above his working class roots through, of all things, art.
Where that part came from, don't know. He used to say he used to go to the local libraries here and listen to the records of the great Shakespearean actors. That's how he taught himself Shakespeare. So how does that happen from a kid who comes from this house? His father's an electrician? I don't know.
Some things you just don't figure out.
No, people get touched, and it happens all the time.
Jason Miller was just 32 when he wrote his masterpiece, which proved eerily prophetic. He spent the rest of his life trying in vain to repeat his youthful success. Now it's up to his son to breathe new life into what he believes is an American classic.
Stop lying to us. Stop telling us how good we were.
We never had a losing season, and we're not starting now.
Like the teammates they portray, the actors have formed a once-in-a-lifetime bond.
We're deeply reliant on each other. I mean, no one wants to go out and have a bad night in front of 1,100 people. And yet, well, there's a wonderful line in the play, no man can do it alone, boys. You know, and we can't, and we need each other.
One point last week, I came off with Brian. I mixed up something in a line. Even if you lose a word sometimes in a line and the audience never knows and you do, though, it just kills you. And he looked at me and said, "Theater is war, my boy."
And this dramatic band of brothers loves nothing more than debating the play's deeper meaning.
There's so many different levels that this playwright catches you on. How we idealize the American spirit of, you know, the backbone. We are the country boys, you know, and you see that it's rotten to the core, too.
I respectfully disagree. I don't think it's necessarily about the rot.
It's not about, but it includes.
You're wrong.
Oh, they're going to fight now. This is going to be great.
All right, guys.
It's a big enough.
I'm ready. Ready?
This energy is working so well.
I think, you know, to me, I think this is about men, real men, in a pre-Phil Donahue, Dr. Phil era, being honest, and the inevitable corruption that I think that happens to every man.
I'm a talented man being swallowed up by anonymity. I want my share.
What's playing out on Broadway will always be rooted in Scranton, where a bust of Jason Miller was unveiled in 2008, a tribute to a favorite son, a working-class kid who dared to reach for glory, and for a moment, held it in his hands.
I mean, the great thing is the last line, that Miller was the inspiration for this Piazza dell'Arte. I hope this inspires other people, and this idea that this kid from this coal mining town went on to do these things in the world of art, and literature, and love, and that means that anyone on any of these corners can do the same thing. That's something that's beautiful.